Welcome to a Fireside Chat with your host, Bryce and Kevin. What are we talking about, Kevin?
I'm Kevin, he's Bryce, and we're talking about the firearms blog stuff that we find interesting and compelling. Currently, I have found that...
I mean, that's not all. Is that all we do here? No,
I mean,
we do
are you
stuff.
questioning what we do on your own podcast?
I mean, we've only done like 3 of these.
We've done at least 4 or 5. A couple have never seen the light of day.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. All right, yeah, hit me. Were you asking me about the MCS?
Yes, the Remington 870 MCS. That seems very interesting.
Modular combat shotgun?
Yes, it is the modular combat shotgun.
Yes. All right, it was either that or compact or something like that. But yeah, that's the breacher shotgun, 16-inch.
Yes, it has all
like
the
convertible. Yeah, it's convertible.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Dude, if I didn't already own a pump shotgun, I would definitely think about.
Good luck trying to find one of those.
Man,
they
really?
are. Yeah, impossible. They're kind of hard to. Well, so the deployment, like the kit itself, the picture that you sent me, yeah, that's kind of hard to come by. You can maybe cobble together one of the breacher shotguns.
Yeah, I found one on Gunbroker, and they want. Well, take a guess at how much they want for it. It's the normal configuration.
So it doesn't. Is it breacher or 16-inch?
Looks like 16 or 18-inch.
Oh, 18. I'm sorry. Yeah, 18-inch.
Yeah, random guess.
A little over $1,000, 22,000 maybe.
Try the buy now price. Drum roll, please.
Drumming. I don't know where that. Wait. Is there? Wait. There's an actual drum roll.
Oh God. $6,500.
Fuck you, dude. What? I was gonna guess like $8,000 for the kit. 65 for send me that link for just the gun. Holy fuck.
I don't know what.
That's not even like the whole thing. That's just
I don't know what methamphetamine. Which is
it's so funny.
This guy's
so
smoking. That my goodness.
I think the only real thing for me in this is that pump, because that's super cool.
Right.
And it does have some of the cool stuff on here.
It does.
It is funny that, like, objectively, if you were to look at that, it looks like a Bubbed or like a Fudd shotgun from like the early 2000s.
Well, if you're on that page, if you can see Remington 870 MCS AOW, and they want 2,200. That's
AOW. I didn't see that. Well, so that one makes more sense. Whoa, dude. Just the receiver sets. Yeah. Holy fuck.
Yeah, $800. I know.
Oh my God. The breacher, the 11-inch is $3,500. Oh, I did find a really clapped out receiver. I'd almost buy just the receiver, just to have the receiver. That'd be cool.
Fair.
Yeah. So this is the AOWs are the breachers. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I like that.
Okay. Well, I found an interesting item on the firearms blog. Your turn,
dude. Stripped receivers, MCS. With QR codes. Oh heavens!
Oh God!
The starting bid for one of these is $800. So that is a lot of money.
Well, not if
you know what? So I think I just realized what makes them an MCS. That actually might be an integral rail. I wonder if it's like welded on or something. Yeah, even the strip receivers I'm seeing have the QD, the swivel for the breacher setup, and then Picatinny. Oh wait, no, they're not hard mounted. They're tapped. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it now. That's actually pretty cool though. Stripped receivers. 800 is a lot of fucking money. Actually, they're up. They're actually in your town, buddy boy.
Are they really?
They are in your town. Yes, sir. Actually, almost all of the parts are in North Florida.
Right on.
The technical manual. Oh man. Can you hear the water running in the background?
No. Is there water running in the background?
One of the showers is just draining. I'm going to cut this out, but the shower was draining and I can hear it. So the feedback on this mic, now that I have it hard mounted, it's kind of hard to tell what it's actually going to pick up. It's hard to read. But all right, back to it. All right, in cut. All right, so yeah, I think if we're going to do, ooh, man, I don't know. I think in terms of a Mossberg, I think in terms of shotgun, if you're gonna have a pump action shotgun,
right?
I think you need the MCS breacher. That's what needs to happen. I need one.
If I didn't already own a 590 A1, it would be compelling for me to try and find, try and build this a little bit. But I own a 590, so
I think so. Technically, that's if the kind of like the shotgun or the waves or any of those. I think because of the overall length,
the shockwave.
Yeah, so that's never been registered or it was never built as a shotgun,
right?
And it still has the overall length of however 26 inch or whatever inches for it to not be an SBS or an AOW, which is how it can fire a 12 gauge, be smooth bore, have a pistol grip, but not then also be an AOW,
right?
Which is super annoying to try to fucking remember.
Legalese.
Yeah, I love the mental gymnastics you have to do, and only some fucking Poindexter nerd's gonna be like, "Well, did you out and fucking do this?" And they fuck off.
Can you imagine you go to buy something at a gun store and the guy's like, first you need to read this book, sir. And it's just like a massive U.S. code of like shit. It's like the fucking Gutenberg Bible.
Have you ever seen any of like the Nova Group live chats with like Hop or Brass Facts or anything like that?
Maybe one or two of them.
So like Hop always sits in front of this he always sits in front of a bookcase and I always imagine like it's very intimidating. Like if somebody's sitting in, I don't know why specifically him, but literally anybody sitting in, or like a lawyer that sits in front of a bookcase full of like this law books, it's always so intimidating.
Right.
That's where all the knowledge base comes from. I think the implication is that it's like, look what I've read.
I mean, we can mimic that. We just
have no pages. Let's do that.
No pages in the book.
Well, unfortunately, all my books have pictures of guns in them. Like they're all just they're technical manuals or.
Speaking of technical manuals, have you had a chance to read the Small Arms of South Africa books?
I have not. I just got the rest of that, by the way. I got the portable nukes and something else.
Right.
Do you Davy have Crockett's weapon systems.
Right. Don't you have the conventional warfare thing too? Books.
Yeah.
Commando
maybe.
Store. Not a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
If you sponsored us.
Yes, I do. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I get distracted because I also have the South African small arms, and those are a little more interesting to me. And so I kind of forget about the other stuff. But yes, I do have that. Wow. I wanted their Panzerfaust stuff, but I think it was out of stock. Is that out of, actually, let's see. I'm talking to you.
Are we getting on the Commando Store now? Is that where we're going?
I love Commando Store.
Commando Store.
I get kind of weird. Like I get it's sponsored. I get kind of weird with like YouTube channels and merch stores. I'm very seasonal. I get kind of tired of people, and I get tired of shticks and shit. But I don't know.
Shticks.
Commando Store hasn't annoyed me yet, so that's cool.
I don't think
that means anything.
Well, they're never gonna annoy us because I feel like I bought my rig, my British weapon.
It's fun shit. Like it's stuff they're clearly putting a lot of money into for good quality stuff that somebody might buy. Yeah, like Red Dawn Gorkas. Are you kidding? That's awesome.
Like when I bought my weapon, it came in under budget, and the closest one I can find on eBay was at least $40-50 more for the same exact thing I got in like 4 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you get down to like their online presence, there's a lot of other places that irritate me with their personalities, but the way they present a lot of their YouTube stuff, their shorts, any of their content, I like it. I like the personalities. I like the kind of, and I don't know. It's very independent. I don't know how to describe it. It's cool. I like it.
I think I found the patch you can. We should buy you for your birthday.
Diagnosed autist. Yeah, shit like that. Like I like that. That's fun.
That one, the silly goose. You should have that right next to silly goose.
I like they have one that says "Fall for It Again" award.
Fall for It Again award.
It's so stupid. And then it's one of those the smiley face ones where it's true capitalism has never been tried.
Right.
I like that.
What about this patch? Threaded for your pleasure.
On the note of like gay shit. Fucking, I know that was the most immature way of transitioning, but Kevin and I were talking earlier. Yes, it was, wasn't it? We were talking about MDT, and I was looking at on the Firearm blog just to find something kind of fun to talk about, and they had a product announcement. It was like they're adding new inlets for their chassis, but in that, I think one of their guys was using a short-barreled American or whatever it is in one of their chassis, and I was just immediately annoyed that they can just go out and buy a 13-inch bolt action and just throw it in a stock without being a felon. It's like, okay, whatever, fuck That's me, cool. I guess. Yeah, now what I will say is their chassis, you can put pistol braces and stuff like that on, so you can get creative, and I say that for people that can't short barreled and because a lot of the time when you talk to people, they're like, oh, I don't know why you don't just SBR, it's so easy now, and you're right, it is, but a lot of people just can't do that.
Well, can't do it legally.
Yeah,
we're not advocating for anything, by the way. That was my opinion.
We are advocating for people to be able to go to the range without getting hassled. What you do at your house is not my concern.
Well, you can go to the range and not be hassled. You just keep your mouth shut and nod politely. Works for me.
Yeah, but like that shouldn't even be it. It should just be like, hey, that's a cool gun. And that's literally it, because whose fucking business? You know what? I'm going to go on a tirade of independence.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the tirade.
Grumpiness. It's none of your fucking business. Leave me alone.
All right. So I'll switch. I'll keep in the same vein, and I'll switch the topic a little bit. When I got to the range, and Bryce can attest to this, I swear to God, I have like a talkable face, because I'll be doing something serious.
He's too welcoming and kind. Well, you work in healthcare. We talked about this. You're approachable.
I'll be zeroing a gun. I'll be doing something like doing like 2 or 3 shots at a time, kind of like gauging where stuff is, listening to tunes, and someone will just randomly like next to me, like, yeah, this damn thing, I can't zero it real well. You want to
just like spawning next to you,
and I'm like, not particularly, but what's the problem? What seems to be the problem?
I guess.
I mean, last time I was at the range, this guy showed me his Bushmaster from Wyndham. Really cool, by the way. It was a Leo trade-in also. I forgot to tell you that part. It was an old Leo trade. It had the stamp on it from...
Man, if you want to find good value, find Wyndham Bushmasters, find all those 6920s that are coming out for Leo trade-ins. Oh, beautiful time to be alive.
The poor guy was trying to zero the iron sights. Like, he had a carry handle on there previously. He took it off, so he had the Troy iron sight. He was trying to get those zeroed, and he was just having a bitch fit of a time doing it. Anyway, he comes over. He's like, "Hey, you want to look at it? This thing's pretty light." I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. It's Wyndham." Hands it to me, mag and chambered. So I take the mag out. He's like, "Oh, there's one in the chamber there." So I just like pop it out. It hits the deck. He picks it up. I'm like, cool.
I know this is really annoying, but etiquette. I know Kevin knows how I am about this, but like, I hate when people are obviously not trained or not even trained or well versed, or at least respect a craft or a tool. When you hand something or hold something, it's like when you hold a hammer a certain way. It's just like, oh, why? Oh, you're all the way up at the head. Ugh.
Yeah. So I did that. And I was like, oh, this thing's super dry. So I pulled out. He's like, yeah, I oil her sometimes. he didn't oil it at all. So I took out some rum oil. I took pity on the poor man. I put like 2 drops in the port there on the bolt carrier group. I'm like,
for the love of God, if you don't clean your guns, at least oil them.
I racked it a couple of times. I'm like, there you go. I'm like, have fun. And I watched him shoot like the first. It was just like an absolute cloud of fucking,
just a mist.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, at least this rifle's well oiled now. Well, thank you.
It is. Yeah, that is the easiest. I mean, I never clean rifles, but they all get oiled.
God, Jesus, you never clean. Oh Lord.
Well, I mean, I don't go out of my way. Well, that's not true. There are some guns I do clean.
Are you a carbon as a natural lubricant follower?
No, I just put oil in it because it's a machine and machines deserve oil. That's pretty much it.
Speaking of cleaning and oil, I was having a couple stoppages where it was smushing. So you think these are mag related? Wait.
Yeah. So okay.
Let me pause. Context.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I was at the range. I was shooting my primary rifle, and I was having some cartridges nosedive and smush themselves, causing a stoppage of which I had to spit the round out and not fire it. I wanted to. I really wanted to. Like my desire to blow my hands up.
I think I would have grabbed. I probably would have grabbed a pair of pliers and like pull it up the neck of the case a little bit, and then I just send it.
I did on one of them, and I was like, that's so gummed up. I'm like, I don't want to ruin my rifle. In
hey man, it has a forward assist. At least use it.
Oh yeah. I should have. Like, hey, the only time I can use I can just like sit there and beat it into the.
I love that clip of Eugene Stoner with the M16A2, just like, what the fuck is this for?
Right.
It's so fucking funny. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay. Now, smush cartridges, nose diving, mag related, gas related. Thoughts?
So, my thought process, and by God, blow up the comments. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us what you think. Why not? This is the diagnostic hour. Maybe we'll incorporate this whenever we have weird stoppages. We can come try and describe them and see if people know what the fuck we're talking about. See if we're actually good at describing anything or if we're just idiots. So my thought process was that it was the same stoppage with the same ammo with similar magazines. Were they all those clapped out GI mags?
2 were relatively new Duramags, and one was a clapped out GI.
Ah, okay. So the problem with diagnosing this stuff is unless you know all the information out front, I don't know.
You're shooting in the dark, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so fuck. I mean, yeah, I would say maybe this is one of those things where if you start marking magazines, this is something I've been trying to like instill in Kevin for a bit.
I mark them as the ones in my bag or my
so
bag.
In your defense, you had not shot enough and you were too new into guns that when you heard that I was buying magazines in bulk or having enough magazines that I needed to number them, I think that sounded a little silly. But until you shoot or have on the surface, until you've had the guns long enough for the magazines to go bad.
Right, or shot enough that then you can trace the problem to a magazine. Yeah. It's making more sense the longer I've owned firearms and used firearms.
It's less for the prepper, like crazy bunker aspect, and more just I like these toys. I want these toys to run really well. Now I have non-gun. I have like hard use, or not air quotes. Like it's a thing I intend on using, but then the rest of them, it's like. They're toys.
Right.
They're fun.
Yeah. I have mags like that where it's like, I have them. I know they're going to work, and I leave them be.
I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not weird about it, but so I watched when I was really young. I watched a thing from Thunder Ranch, and it was Clint Smith's ideology with magazines, and he was like, always have 500 magazines, 250 loaded and 250 ready to be loaded. And I was like, fuck me. That's so
wow.
Like so the point was less with the number and more that you have an infrastructure to support things. And it's like, hey, because in the same vein, he was talking about how having 2 knives is better than one, because if you break one, you have a backup, or if one gun stops working, you have a sec. So that kind of logic. Yeah. So obviously, I mean, at one point I did carry 2 guns and 2 knives and 2, but my pants were bigger and it was less. I was a lot less comfortable then.
Well, I have 2 fists, so if one breaks,
there you go. Exactly. So, but yeah, so I mean, that was more. I kind of lost the plot. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so that was the ideology with the magazines. It was more just long-term planning of if I just a really long-winded version of buy once, cry once.
Right. And on that vein about buying once, crying once, do it. Don't make the mistakes I made, where I try and cheap out on stuff, and then later on I'm like, ooh, well, I end up spending twice as much money.
I think so. Somebody gave us a bit of a compliment the other day, and they were saying is we are relatively we're decent at making things more regular guy-esque. So the regular guy probably needs to know where he can save a shitload of money and save a shit, or and where he needs to spend it, where he needs to invest it. So like I think I was talking to my wife, but I was describing my son kind of like a homunculus. If you think about what that visual representation is,
homunculus.
Well, he is. Wait, he's a very good. He's got big eyes. He got big head, big hands.
A homunculus, like from Full Metal Alchemy.
No, like in neural cognition. So, like, you know how they visually represent the brain and the functions with a homunculus, like the goofy looking dude. Imagine a hobbit. Like, if say you're so in a very quick and easy version is. If your brain uses your ears a lot, your ears are the ears are big, the eyes are big because you use them a lot, but maybe your pinky toe is really small. So it's like whatever gets used the most is the biggest thing. That's why, that's what that is. So it's just a visual representation of what things and functions in the brain and the hemispheres and the different operations in the brain. I say all of that to say that I was I was describing my son as my homunculus because, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized you could use that very long-winded way of me to saying that we could make a visual representation on a rifle, like where to spend your money and where just to cheap out. Like the lower receiver, buy a fucking Anderson that as long as it mics, it's in spec. Who gives a shit? Buy 5. If one of them fucking mics, keep that one, sell the rest of them. Who fucking cares, right?
Right.
But
right on.
Barrel, gas system, bolt carrier. These are things that you need to invest money in. If you're gonna piecemeal this gun together, those are things you need to think about. And then optic. You don't need to invest like you used to. So like you can make your own little, like we could make our own carry handle homunculus, I guess is what I meant to say. I realized I could have used a different word and then streamlined this whole process, but I thought that was a good visual representation.
But you're right. People today, they don't understand. I mean, hell, you can almost, as long as it's milled and, within spec, you can kind of get away with a more budget-esque rifle.
Well, that's all that, as long as the parts function together. I used to build them ARs professionally. Like as long as things work together, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's cool when it's a new funky space age material like the Hodge lowers or it's ambi or something like that. But at the end of the day, they're still using an AR trigger and it still needs a safety. And as long as those components work together, it doesn't really matter what it says on the side. As long as the measurements are all the same-ish throughout the platform. I mean, who cares? Whatever the lowers, invest your money if you want. If you don't feel like dealing with pressure bearing components like a barrel and shit like that, just buy a complete upper.
That's what I did.
That's exactly what Kevin did. That's what you should. Kevin did it exactly right. Kevin did exactly what. Now, granted, he did this after learning things because that's how he works, which is awesome.
Yes,
but it is kind of funny. I wish. When you were starting out, I could have just pointed to Ben Steger. I could have pointed to Lucas Bott, the guys that are doing the Reddit ARs with the BCM uppers and the Aero lowers. That's the build. That's the practical man's rifle. You don't need a Gucci lower. You just need a recoil system and a lower that mics and a fucking upper that rips, right? And it groups and gassing is whatever. I mean, as long as it fucking works, right?
Right. Well, and the more important thing when you're starting out with firearms is train, ammo. You want to shoot whatever pistol, rifle, whatever you have. You want to shoot it so much that you can almost do it, second nature, and then parts start to wear out because you're using it so much.
And that's one thing, Kevin and I, for sure. We're definitely going to be being about it more. I'm getting more flexibility as a dad, so I don't want to be casting stones from my glass house. But just keeping things realistic, I am aware that you need to be wearing shit out, that's what you need to do. Well, shoot guns.
Case in point, like someone's asked me at the range before how I got so good using my Glock. I think it was like the Glock, like the bog standard Glock 19. I was just punching holes in the same hole, waiting for a cold range because I was bored. And the target was, I think, like 7 yards. It wasn't even that far from me. I was literally just punching the same hole over and over and over. Somebody's like, "How long did it take you to get that good?" And the answer is like, I don't know. I mean, like, I shot 7 yards. I shot.
Who the fuck is happy about 7 yards? It's like, yep.
I don't know. I guess the guy's a really bad shot. So,
dude, the first thing I do, especially like an indoor range, I just go fuck it, 25. Like this is the only meaningful shooting I'm gonna be able to do. I might as well just do it at 25 yards. I can't draw in here. I might as well do something.
Right.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, I shot that Glock until the whole Glock is rebuilt. I don't even think I have any original parts of that Glock. Except the barrel.
I had not met somebody that shot out a Glock trigger safety before. That one's I don't think I've seen that before. Hooray. That was new for me.
Yay.
I had not seen that until I met you. Granted, Kevin ran that Glock 19. Oh, fuck.
Hard.
Oh, man. Cases of ammo through that thing.
When I first bought it, I used to go out to this range. I used to get there right when the sun was coming up, crested over the hills, because they were open then. So the sun's crested up over the hill. I'd have like 1,000 or more rounds in like an ammo can, and like four magazines, and a fucking dream. And when I would leave, I'd have like a mark on my hand. My finger would be twitching a little bit. I'm like,
good times.
I used to shoot from sun up to dusk when I first bought that gun. When I had the time to do it and the money and the ammo was cheap. They'd be like, "Okay, time to go." I'm like, "Wait, I gotta get out these last like 3 rounds." Bah, 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 bah.
It's fun. I have a permanent callus on the webbing of my right hand and my middle finger from where my hand gets battered. So, and that's where the Glock. That's like my Glock webbing and my Glock knuckle, which is funny because I get worse Glock knuckle on an M&P than I do on a Glock.
Well, the other thing I'm trained myself to do kind of over the years, owning a Glock, is if my primary index finger starts to get wumpy on me, I can immediately just put it up, and just use my middle finger.
What kind of fucking high volume shooting are you doing?
Enough to
suppressive fire!
Enough to cramp my. I mean, I don't do it now, but when I first started, I would go.
Yeah, but it kind of sounds like maybe you get cramps picking your nose.
You don't?
You're a fucking banana.
I don't like bananas.
Holy shit!
Eat a banana.
Should I start carrying the Glock 48 again?
Yeah, you should.
Instead of buying another gun, I should
carry the 48. Carry the 48 at the 4 o'clock like a real man, and then like carry the M&P at the appendix. And then that way you have 2 guns.
I don't like this gun.
I want to see a video of you having both guns on you, and you take out one, and you're like, I'm out, and you drop the gun, and you pull the other one out. You're like, haha.
Huzzah!
Yeah, huzzah!
Wait, didn't we? There is a short of me doing that with my J-frame.
Is there?
I think so.
Because I tried to do it with the 2 Glocks, and it was.
I have that video.
Painful.
I posted that video somewhere. I don't remember where I posted it.
Anyway.
All right. Well, that was a good fireside chat.
It sure
Thanks for listening, people.
All right. Adios.
I mean, what? I don't think it really matters. We could just end it. Just be like,
yeah.